Okay, can you guys hear us clearly? We want to make sure that you guys can hear us. Okay, can you guys hear us clearly? All right, I got it now. Oh my God. Guys, we were just talking to you guys for a minute, okay? Thinking that you could hear us and you couldn't. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're so excited to be here. We just wanted to do this real quick because we've been really busy. And so we've missed out on this last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so because we know that the show is coming on tonight, we're like, let's just figure out a way to go live. We don't have to edit. We don't have to do much, but you guys can still get our opinions on last week's episode. And we may even go live for this last episode, depending on how, this one goes. Let us know that you guys are here and make sure you write down in the comments, say hey to us. We just want to make sure that that we communicate with you guys, especially in the comments. Hopefully we have some of the people that we talked to in the comments here with us this evening as well.
Absolutely.
I'm going to press play. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay. So, like she said, we were gone for about a week or so. So definitely comment. And we have had an extremely busy 2 weeks. It was my love's birthday yesterday. So make sure you give a shout out.
So let's start with Amelia and Bennett. Okay, so Amelia and Bennett, they play about flipping a coin for decision day. I knew that she was playing, but I hope that Bennett knew she was playing. I feel like they kind of get each other's humor.
I think they get each other's humor. However, I think that they're so kooky and crazy that they would actually flip a coin because they talked a lot about fate. And so I think with the way Amelia is, I think the way Bennett is, I think he'll just be like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And then flip a coin and then let that be the decision. Because I mean, Bennett, he's like really 50-50 on even having to move to Virginia. So for him, if this isn't real and if fate doesn't want it, then,
But do you think that she really was going to flip a coin?
I think they would flip a coin and then.
No, she was going to be the only person who did it.
I think maybe even in secret, they'll flip a coin.
For real? And then what if it said that they should say no? You think that she would go with that?
I think that they would do what they can to increase their odds. And so they would flip it, and then maybe it was tails and they were like, oh, well, let me see 2 to 3. And then, let me see 3
I just really thought she was playing. And I hope she was, because I think that's silly.
I hope so.
But then again, I mean, she said some things last episode that really made me look at her like, come on, Amelia, are you serious? Why would you say that?
She broke the magic from me.
Right.
She broke the magic.
So Bennett met with his friends, and although I feel like his friends brought up some good points, I feel like his friend was being a little bit of a buzzkill.
Who, creepy hat guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his name was Thaddeus.
Thaddeus?
Yeah.
I like creepy hat guy.
Right. That sounds better. I didn't know if he was being a hater or just a caring friend. I mean, because he was making a lot of good points, but he showed no optimism at all.
It was just a weird energy with him.
Yeah.
Because, he did have some good points. However, it was almost like it was coming from a weird place.
Yeah.
Like, Bennett, you can't leave. I mean, Bennett lives here. Bennett doesn't leave me. He's supposed to be in my life always.
You think that's what they meant?
Well, it's just his energy was weird. I mean, I think the other guy, I'm going to call him Mario because I didn't see his name because he looks like Mario. Mario and Luigi. But anyway, he seemed that he also had good points, but they came with a different energy set.
Yeah.
And so, it was able for, at least for me, to receive that better.
Right. And so Bennett told them that they haven't had any adversity yet. And Thaddeus did make a point when he said, you get to know someone when you go through hardships. I mean, that's true. But I mean, how much hardship would you go through in 4 months? And plus, a lot of people, I was looking at another podcast and they were talking about how long did it really take you to fall in love with someone? And usually by 4 months, you have already said, I love you. If you guys got together with the intention on being together, if you love that person, you kind of know, even if you don't say it, within 4 months, if you kind of are falling for that person.
Yeah. I think that love is an emotion, right? And marriage is a choice. I mean, and so when I say that, marriage is difficult anyway. And so there's going to be hardships regardless. And so they got chosen to marry each other at first sight.
Right.
And so they foregone any hardships before that makes them decide whether or not they want to be in this relationship.
Right.
And they decided, just like all relationships and all marriages, that we're going to get married and we're going to deal with our hardships together, regardless. Right. And because they couldn't be paired up, by themselves. So I think that his friend was very cynical and not really taking a whole lot into picture that marriages are going to be somewhat difficult anyway.
Yeah, right.
Anyway. Right. And really just kind of putting a lot of doubt into Bennett's head.
Maybe it was because he was moving. Maybe that really made everything else a big deal because he was actually moving. And it wasn't just like, okay, you're deciding to say yes on decision day. I wonder if there wasn't like a move to Virginia involved. Would his friend had been,
Probably not. Probably not. So? I think if he didn't have to move, well, I think because he told his friend that he had to move after he was already being cynical. Now that I think about it. And so I think that it would have been easier, but I think that just threw his friend over the edge. Like, oh, and you're moving? You need to get out now. Say no on decision day and, go back to being single, lonely Bennett.
Exactly.
My baby.
Right. That's how it seems like everybody around him feels. But I guess that's also a cool thing because that means Bennett is a cool guy.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, we already kind of knew Bennett was a cool guy.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean.
So Amelia and her friends do a tarot reading, and the reading said that she should keep Bennett, and she's the tarot reading lady said that she needs to take a breath. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to turn into a jerk. So don't think he's going to like change up on you if you decide to stay with him. And Amelia asked about moving to Virginia, and she told her not to overthink the situation and was saying something else that was like a negative thing, but then the cameras cut off. I mean,
well, I think that was the end of the session, and yeah, well, it was, and what was it? She said that this is a witch. That's how I think Amelia kind of coined who she was.
And I don't like that term because people don't understand that term. So I wish she would have just said spiritual,
like guider or reader.
Yeah, because people, they don't know enough and they pass judgment.
I agree, especially when you don't know something that's a little bit mystical in that way. But I mean, but realistically, the spiritual guider, we'll call her in this sense, she was spot on in a lot of the cases. I think she had at least 2 cards before the camera cut out. And so the last card, it was about her moving away. But, because she was so on point, I believe that really she would have just reiterated what she had said and that, it was still going to be ultimately a good choice for her.
Yeah, I agree. And Amelia actually told her friends about a dream that she had. And it was about like Bennett being a cucumber and she was getting ready to eat him. And it was sad and scary. I personally felt like, now I'm not a dream interpreter, but I feel like I have some,
Okay, what you got?
I feel like it meant that either she's scared or she feels like she's going to overpower him and kind of like eat him up. Kind of like when people say, I'm going to chew you alive. Because he's moving to Virginia with nothing, basically, starting from fresh. And she's a doctor. She's moving to Virginia and her family lives there. So maybe her subconscious was basically either telling her what is going to happen or what she was already afraid of happening. Like she's going to eat him in terms of his life is going to become all about her and he's no longer going to be able to do what fulfills him.
I like what you said there. I'm going to expand a little bit because as you were talking, I was starting to get a little bit of a glimpse on what she said a little bit later. And what I think that dream meant is that her intentions are that she loves Bennett. That's what she intends to do. However, she might be at a place right now where she feels a little bit afraid that even though she wants to love him, that she is really, she really throws a lot of caution to the wind and she doesn't really, I want to say care a whole lot as
Mm-hmm.
much as Bennett does
Mm-hmm.
because of her intentions for even being on the show.
Wait, so are you saying that maybe her intentions are still like they were in the beginning and they hadn't changed?
That she does not fall like that. She doesn't fall in love like
Mm-hmm.
blissfully in love with somebody. She can love anybody. She can love, it doesn't make a difference who you'd have been paired with. She would have enjoyed this experience with anybody. And so because of which she knows that Bennett really loves her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is, like you said, going to eat him alive, eat his emotions alive, and in some ways destroy him, in a lot of ways destroy him, when Bennett really is a good person, really is a good thing. She likes cucumbers. So Bennett is a good thing, but she's going to destroy Bennett because of who she is, even though it's not her intention to. That she
Oh
will.
my gosh. Hopefully that's just like her being afraid, you know? Yeah, hopefully it's her being afraid and not that she's really going to do that. Okay, so anyway.
That was deep. That was deep.
That was
talking
real
like,
deep.
Who's that? Amani? That's deep.
Right. So they do a at-home date for their last day of decision day. Decision day is tonight. Okay, I'm so excited. So Bennett decorates the apartment for the home date. It was real cute. Amelia says that she didn't think she was ready to be married and just thought it would be fun to be on a reality show.
Killed it for me.
Yeah, I was so like, why would you say that? She didn't even like follow it up with, that's what I thought in the beginning. And then now, I'm in love,
I'm so happy
you know what I'm saying?
No, she didn't. She never said that.
Yeah.
And it was very scary because Bennett is, giving his heart to Amelia. And for Amelia to say that I did the show because I thought it would be fun to be on a reality show, and that no matter who I was paired with, that I was going to enjoy the process, takes away from the magic that Bennett and Amelia had, because that magic was, you paired two people who wanted to be married, and they happened to find two people that was so close in personality that it works. And now Amelia's like, well, I just wanted to be on a reality show.
It could have been Miles, and I would have said I loved him back.
Right.
Oh, that is so crazy.
Right. That's like,
I was really disappointed in that.
That kills for me.
She said she usually likes most people she meets and would have probably gotten along with anybody she was matched with, even if she would have gotten along with a snowman. Didn't she say that?
She said a snowman.
A part of me kind of feels like, because Amani got caught doing this thing that kind of made me a little upset this last episode with, because they were scared, said things that kind of insinuated that they weren't all the way sure on their decision because they were scared of getting hurt. Like Amani, and we're not there yet, but like Amani was saying, acting as if she was 50-50 and didn't know if she was going to say yes, when we all know she was going to say yes. But I feel like that was her kind of guarding her heart. So I'm thinking maybe that's Amelia being scared that she is in love and kind of trying to catch herself by then acting as if she's as loose and free, so she wouldn't get hurt.
I didn't put the two together. However, I'm starting to see what you're saying, because I was just thinking to myself, I thought Amani was doing that really to kind of see how Woody would react.
Because remember, Amelia got mad because if Amelia really didn't care, why would she feel any type of way about Bennett not writing when they were writing the story about, like, write what you would tell your 9-year-old self? If she was so free and not caring, why would she care that he didn't mention her name?
So you're saying it's her insecurities that are showing.
Yep. And it probably could also be like maybe she's also holding on to that moment. Like, okay, now you're acting like you're kind of giving a kind of aloof, like whatever feeling. So let me scare you by doing this, so I won't feel like I'm the only one who's deeply in love.
That's a terrible time to make somebody afraid, which is on the day before, decision day, before I leave you and go back to my little hut. You gonna tell me right now that you really, could have did this
Yeah.
with Yoda?
But sometimes when you're in love and you're scared, you don't make the best decisions. So So they go back home. Bennett, said he doesn't feel as confident anymore in his confessional about the decision day after learning that she just did this for fun. And Amelia then said in her confessional that she's gonna miss the cameras because they make her feel like she's in a movie. She's a movie star. I'm like, girl, I don't even want to talk about them no
You're
more.
giving me
That was
terrible
it.
vibes right now. You're giving me bad vibes. And I wish that you didn't say these things to the camera.
Yeah.
I think maybe she was just kind of giving her truth at that point because now this is sort of the last time that they're going to have the cameras around. But
it got mixed up with the other crazy stuff. So,
I think that they're going to still say yes tomorrow or today. I do believe that they're still going to say yes. However, Bennett needs to pay a little attention to Amelia and if she is in this relationship for the right reasons.
That's true.
That's how I feel.
That's true. Let's go to Olivia and Brett real quick. That'll be real quick. Brett meets with his friend, and his friend basically admits and agrees with all of us. Brett can be an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Or an a-hole, and even his friend has some issues. Brett acts like, he didn't do anything wrong, and the quarantine just brought out, basically her flaws and how they weren't meant to be.
Well, he even says, Brett, he is very difficult for him to change his opinion, and that is, and that he's even tried to work with him to change his opinions, but he still won't, and he doesn't. And even a lot of the things that Brett said in that conversation was, very butthole-ish, because I don't really want to cuss on YouTube.
Hey, Anita Smith says, hey guys, glad you're chatting during the show. I know, well, we're in LA, so the show isn't on here. That was one thing that I said, like, oh, we're going to be going on during the show, but I'm thinking maybe we'll come back after or maybe tomorrow live. I know that people on the East Coast are watching the show right now.
Right.
So they already know probably who at least the two couples who said no, who said what, because it's like 9:30 over there.
Okay.
But I'm so happy to see you, Anita. Are you watching the show? Where are you at? Or where are you from? Okay, so Olivia and her friend, she said that if Brett wanted to give another try, she would listen.
Still losing.
I know.
She shouldn't have said that. She should have been like, no, because Brett's an ass and I don't want to deal with Brett. Brett, doesn't, this and that and the other. And I would rather, yes, I still want to be married. Yes, I still want to have that person I spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
However, I want to do that with somebody other than, greasy Brett.
She says, Anita says, I'm in Georgia. We're down to the last couple, Woody and Amani. Oh my gosh, Anita, don't tell us. Oh wait, no, it's Anisha Smith. Don't tell us, girl. No, oh my God. My God. Okay, please, so it's 6:30 here. Yeah, we have 6, 7, 8. We have 3 hours before it comes on here. So we'll be waiting.
Don't be too antsy.
I know, we'll be waiting, but you have to come. You have to come back when we do a video. We'll see how this goes, but we may do a live after the decision episode. And we would love to talk about it with you.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to Amani and Woody. So
this is definitely my favorite couple.
Yeah.
Because of what ensued this time.
Shonda Oaten says, I'm so annoyed. Oh my gosh, girl, don't tell us. We haven't seen it. Oh my God. See, people are watching it. They already know what's happening.
Oh God.
Oh,
turn your face from the screen.
Yeah.
You'll turn to salt.
Oh, I know. I cannot wait. We have our dinner ready. Right. No spoilers. Shonda said no spoilers. Because we're just going to talk about the last episode we've seen, which is episode 15. We're a little late, but
better late than never.
Right. Better late than never. Amani and Woody. Amani asked if they feel the feelings can stay the way they are. And Woody said he just doesn't want things to switch up. And like I said earlier, Amani keeps playing about being unsure. We know that I know that she's gonna say yes.
Well, in this conversation, she was a little bit lit too. So she was having a little bit of fun with this conversation. But I think she's doing it really to test Woody in a lot of ways because they haven't had really any tumultuous situations. And I think
Yeah.
similar to Karen, similar to Christina, similar to probably a lot of women in a way, they want to see how their man deals with different things. Right. And so far, we've for the most part seen Woody being very sweet, very kind, very loving. And so now, Woody, how do you deal with adversity? Me telling you that I'm only 54%. So she was a little bit lit, but I think she was playing with him.
Yeah. There should be a limit though, because you don't want to play with somebody too much like that, because then you're gonna make them go back home and start feeling like, oh, maybe she's not where I thought she was, and then now it's confusion.
I agree. I don't like being played with. Nope.
Yeah,
just tell me the
either.
real. Tell me you love me, or tell me you hate me, so I can go home and either make my, cry and make my decisions, or be happy and make my decisions.
Exactly.
So be feeling like, you like. No, I don't want to feel like that. I want you to be like, yes, yes, yes.
Right.
That's what I want.
That is so funny. So Amani meets with her friend Nicole. Amani feels real good about decision day. There's nothing that she's unsure about. Okay. She tells her friends there's nothing she's unsure about.
Right. Yeah.
They're building They're building a best friend vibe, which I think is really awesome. Amani said the only holdup is him not listening or paying attention about serious stuff. She wants him, like, if he doesn't understand, she wants him to ask for clarity. Then they play the clip about when he thought she said burger, but she said burka. Yeah. I felt like that wasn't a good example because that was him. I mean, anybody could have gotten that mixed up.
True, but that may just be an example to the effect that Woody will respond regardless.
Right,
if
of
he
asking
understands.
for clarity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and so
true.
That's where I saw that at. And
that's
I said,
true.
And really, which I know we'll talk about here shortly, but I think his grandmother touched on that specifically for him.
Right. Oh, yeah. Wasn't that interesting that his main problem was what his grandma touched upon?
Exactly. And so I think, because I mean, when you get older, you get savvy with how you communicate with people.
Right.
And so when somebody says, well, what do you think, is going to be good in this relationship? They're going to look at you and say, what do I think you need in this relationship? I mean, I can talk about the world, and the world needs different things.
You think his grandmother was basically answering based off of her knowing her grandson?
Absolutely, because otherwise I just can't see why she would hit that mark. That mark. She went directly to what I mean, almost as if Amani talked to the grandmother.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I think she knew.
Anicia asks us, do y'all think this year there were a lot of women that had some deep past hurts that made their guards be up so high? The only person that I feel, and I'll answer this and then you can answer this too. I feel like the person with the past hurts first for me is Karen and then Christina. Now, Olivia, can I say that? I'll get to Olivia. I feel like Olivia was willing to work through her past hurts. I think Christina, she's a little weird, but I feel like she was also open to work through it. She just needs a therapist before she gets on something like this.
You know what I think? As you were talking, I was really in deep thought, and I was really like, we all got deep hurts.
I mean, we all.
I mean, as adults, for the most part, we all have had, for the most part, our first love. We all have went through situations where it helps develop an individual. Did Karen specifically, probably the most out of everything.
Karen is the most to me.
But then you got Christina. Christina, she deals with her own hurt because of who she is. She has probably some kind of a chemical imbalance that causes these things to happen for her. Olivia is, she probably has some too. Which makes her so meek and so quiet. But everybody has such a different personality, and we all go through things who make us who we are. Now, deep hurts, probably only though Karen. is really the one who's probably been through things that really
She
has
hasn't
shaped
gotten
her
over yet.
in this negative
Yeah.
way,
Because
specifically.
you're right. We all have deep hurts. And I think anybody who's gotten in a relationship, a new relationship, has been hurt before. But I think to cause your guard to be up so high to where you can't even be open to the process, to where like we're wondering why you even signed up for this, would be Karen, mostly. Because I feel like even though Christina is a little weird and she has a lot going on, she was open to love if it was possible.
Yeah.
Karen seems like she's not even open to love. She seems like she doesn't even want to do the basics.
See, Christina deals with self-esteem issues. Christina, I think that's where her hurt comes from. I don't think Karen deals with self-esteem issues. Olivia, I think, maybe deals with self-esteem issues. I think Amelia may be dealing with some self-esteem issues. Simply because of this last specific episode when she said that she wanted to do this, specifically for the cameras, and when it relates to her relationship with Bennett. Other than that, I think she's fine.
Exactly, Anisha. Karen's actions showed she didn't even want to try.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Totally agree. I love these questions. You guys keep asking. We're gonna keep going, but we love to take a break and answer the questions. Woody talks to his grandma, and I put grandma.
Grandma.
It was a
like
cute
that.
conversation. I really liked her. I was like, oh, she's fly.
Yeah, she had the little tiki bar in the back. Yeah, she's ready to throw a party.
Woody is ready to be married. He said he's tired of the single life. It's not as fun as the married life. And his grandmother thinks that that they're a great match. I think I heard someone else saying that a lot of people like get so scared of being in a relationship and they make it seem as if it's a bad thing, but when it's healthy, it's really a good thing. Even his grandmother was able to see it. Like, you're much more calmer when you're in a happy relationship.
Absolutely.
You're much more steady. You can think more, you progress better. You're a more mature person. So yeah, his grandmother could see it all over him. Let's see. Woody.
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, no, one thing that the grandmother did say was that she wanted Woody to be consistent, right? Just, just continue to be loving, continue to, to do these things. And I think the relationship will go well. And so I think that is really good that Woody has the grandmother in his life. But the one thing that the grandmother also said, I think, because he had asked, I think, what was it? What do you think, is good or one thing that men do bad in a relationship or whatever it might be. And it was that to communication. It was communication and listening. One thing that Amani said, to
right.
So
do you think, now she was kind of putting all men together, do you feel like that would have been one of your things that you had to work on, whether present or in the past?
For me specifically, listening, I don't know if that was really a huge issue for me, but I think that all men could listen a little bit better because, we're oftentimes thinking about what our next, statement is getting ready to be. But overall, I think I listen pretty well.
Okay.
Oh, God. If you think so.
That is so funny. So Woody and Amani go on a dinner date. And they had a little cute thing. Woody ate all the oysters. Oh, I would have been so mad, especially if I love something and you eat all of it. I would not understand why you did that.
Yeah, see, I would always be a little bit cognitive of how many I'm eating versus how many is on the plate.
And it's not like he said, oh, we can order some more. Hopefully they did that. And he just didn't. We didn't catch him say that. Because I'm like, okay, maybe he's finna say, oh, that's no problem. We could order however many, But
maybe she's like, I don't really like them that much. And then he was just like, I guess that means more for me.
Right. And then what he said, before he didn't really believe in love, in terms of like, he didn't know how he was gonna get there. But, now that he has it, he's just
smitten. I think
he's just smitten and he gets like a little choked up and stuff.
He did. He got a little bit choked up. It looked like he was about to cry a little bit. But I feel like maybe this might have even been the icing on the cake too for Amani to see that emotion coming from Woody.
Right.
To say, okay, so I have a man who I'm also already married to, who is visibly showing that he loves me the way that I would want to be loved. So hopefully for Amani that this was a good thing, and that she can go in and sleep very well knowing that this is just a formality in the rest of their lives.
Right. East Awesome says Woody, Amani, and Granny need a spinoff. Get these people on a show. That I would watch it.
I think so. Yeah.
That I would really,
but
really watch it.
I think it would I want to see Granny though. I want to see her like what's her life
but
like.
They need to be in control of the show because sometimes reality shows can mess up stuff. So as long as they have control over it, I'm with it.
Start manufacturing drama, and then that creates actual drama. Like, what you said actually hurt me.
We need to see some love relationships on TV.
Well, maybe they can be a part of Black Love, that show.
Yeah, but see, that's only a segment. We want to be in Woody and Amani's life.
We want to know what your kids look like.
Right. Right. So Woody and Amani, now they're in bed. Woody says he's going to be sad to sleep alone. And Amani's like, it's going to be nice to sleep alone. But she means like, so she can have time to think about things. I'm that type of person. Like, it could be because I want time by myself to think about you. Not necessarily that I don't want to be with you, you know?
Right. It's, I think as people, we all need a little bit of time. I mean, in order for any good relationship, you got to have that personal space where you can go to your corners and just reflect and just digest what's going on.
He said the puppy will bring the drama. Right. That's all we need. Just give us drama about she wants a puppy and he doesn't. That's as far as it needs to go.
That's all we need.
That's so funny.
The dog pooped again.
Right.
Who's cleaning it?
Right. I told you I didn't want no dog.
I told you I didn't want to clean no poop. You clean the poop.
That is hilarious. So Woody said when Amani, basically mentioned, what their conversations were, she then mentioned, kind of, I guess, gave a scenario. What if I said no on decision day? And Woody said I would walk out, basically like I would be angry. And Amani kind of felt some type of way about that. But I'm like, well, what would you expect him to do? I think that would really show like, dang, he really loved me. Because like, I mean, you guys are so close now. Yeah, if you up and shock him by saying you don't want to be with him on TV, he's like, tell me now before we go out there and you do that.
Let's not, be showing the whole world that we this great couple and then you want to just bounce on me. I would be upset. If I was in Woody's shoes and she said that, I would be looking like, what?
Right.
Flip a table over, walk out all upset. Don't say nothing to me. I'm out. Take off my tie. I'm out.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm skipping over that. I don't know.
That's neither here nor there. That's not happening.
Right. So let's see. Who do we have next? Let's see who we have in here. Oh, hold this for me. Guys, make sure you don't give any spoilers.
We still got Henry and Christina, Miles and Karen. And we are live.
A whole bunch of things at once.
Not at all. And so I think we're gonna go ahead and move over to Henry and Christina.
Oh, you want to do Henry and Christina?
Henry and Christina.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
they're packing for. Oh wait, what are they packing for?
No. See, what I got is that Henry is still talking about that text message early on because he knows that that's garbage. Henry is like, come on now, show me the text, and I'm not gonna give it up until you either say that you're lying or anything. That was the first thing that was on his mind.
Oh wait, but Henry was packing to leave. Did they show him that? Did they show him packing first to leave? Like
no, because this is when they had first came back from the couple's trip.
Oh, unpacking then.
And they were unpacking, right?
Oh,
and then they were
They're
unpacking.
in separate rooms though. That's what I had.
Did you?
That was my main point.
Probably because Henry's like, I'm good.
They've been in separate rooms. How could she possibly think that they are getting better? Christina, who's the old guy that Christina?
I don't know his name, but
do you guys know like who's that older guy that Christina met with? Is that an uncle? It's weird if that's like an older friend. Sorry.
I think his initials is SD.
Oh.
For sugar daddy?
Oh my God. Oh my.
He got a wife. He like, good, just find you
Right,
somebody.
right.
So, we be good. But
Oh my God, that could be true. Because older sugar, like they want you to prosper and get married, just as long as you don't pressure me to get married to you.
Right.
That is so funny. That could be. She lies so much. I wouldn't put it past her that
No,
she
that's
would
who
like.
she was with when she went for that little walk.
That is so
helping
funny.
a friend move.
So
I'm not gonna say what she was moving.
Christina feels like she tried her best, although some may think that she didn't. She keeps bringing up that she is loved by a lot of people, that she's always loved.
When somebody says that, though, to me, and when in my life, and then somebody says all of these things about themselves, that means that they're the most insecure about those things. Oh, I know that I'm pretty, I know that I'm smart, and I know that people love me, are the same things that they really don't feel.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? She says that a lot.
I agree.
And that they speak two different languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she told the guy.
Yeah, that's what she told the guy, that they speak two different languages, but that she's trying, and that she really thinks that, that they could, that they could work at some point. She just seems to be very delusional at this point.
I agree.
But I think that that's for a reason.
Yeah, because she now wants to make sure she solidifies a place.
Bam.
But why did she wait till the last minute to start acting right? Like, she should have already known the day is gonna come. So let me make sure
because she's a back against the wall kind of person. She's got to like fight for it. This is how she became homeless with 5 cents on the street. She fights, and so that's why.
Yeah, Anisha said, not the sugar daddy. I didn't even think of that, because that's weird that she would be friends with somebody that much older, and then the wife wasn't there. I don't know.
I mean, that would be weird even for him. Like, how did y'all even get? I mean, was y'all like on a plane or something, and y'all were just next to each other and never stopped talking?
Oh, the tea. That's a whole nother video.
See, that I'm telling you,
Christina's
I'll be on
daddy.
point with my little.
That's so funny.
Bam! I'm telling you.
So Christina said a lot of good things about Henry. But like I said, I wrote that it's weird that at the last minute she's choosing to look at the good side. But the things that she did say that she liked about him was a few things that you and I had said that we noticed, but now she's saying that she also notices them. And I mean, it's too late.
Well, yeah,
I don't know who she thinks Henry is. It's kind of like she thinks Henry is like super, I don't know, like.
I think lines are beginning to get crossed. I mean, to be drawn, and where they are socially, mentally, etc., are being very apparent. And so Christina is now has spent some time with him, saying that, oh, Henry is really cool. He has this humor that it takes a little bit, but once he gets there, it's really funny, or whatever it was she said. And I'm really starting to see now that Christina, it just really is not in Henry's league. Henry is in a different league than Christina.
You know what? And isn't that so crazy that now we're really seeing like Christina? I mean, Henry may just be at the cool table.
He is at the cool table.
And Christina, like, she thinks she's at the cool table, but she's really not. Like, as time goes, I'm starting to be like, oh, you're the weird one.
You're the weird. You're like
now
the aggressive girls.
Henry did not try. Henry didn't try. Right, like the bullies, a bully who likes you.
Yeah,
but she's so mean that it's not even attractive.
Right, she's hanging with them, not the real cool, the ones that kind of really run things. Now, I won't say that Henry created the cool table, but he got brought to the cool table once the cool ones was like, Henry's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So let me read this from East Awesome. So East Awesome has a lot to say. I wonder if this is the East I know. I don't think so, though. Christina saying she's a flamboyant liar triggered me. I'm tracking her BS. Number one, she says she didn't have a lot of friends her age. Oh, okay. I think I do remember that. Number two, she magically had ADD as an explanation for being mean. Now, I'm going to tell you, when she said that, I thought she was lying, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to trigger. Because, you could be telling the truth and you don't want to like offend anybody.
Right.
But East, I promise you, that I thought the same thing, and I didn't say. Did I tell you
I
that?
think you said that to me.
Yeah, but I didn't say it on the in the video. But I did think she was probably lying. Number 3, her friend said she had an evil side at the meet and greet. Number 4, she pretended like she didn't see Henry's entire birthday cake. Number 5, she broke him. Yeah, he's going in. Okay. Number 5, she broke him down when he was vulnerable. Confidence is her deal breaker, which I was like, she is just horrible when she did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So look, those were East 5 reasons why Christina ain't S. Sugar honey iced tea.
Sugar honey iced tea.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, those are all
good valid points
yeah.
on what makes her not suitable to be in a relationship with a normal person.
Anisha said Christina is afraid she's not going to have somewhere to live after decision day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's her whole focus right now. She's trying to hopefully he says yes so that she can slide into whatever little home he lives in and then take long walks.
Now, Anisha also said Henry stopped trying at the wedding reception when she lied about where she lived. Now, let me ask you this, though. He didn't know. I don't think he knew that she was lying.
No, I don't think that I think that, we all as people can read different energies. And I think that he read her energy. Now, do I think that Henry wasn't trying? I think that Henry was open for the opportunity to want to try.
Yeah.
I think that he never got anything that made him want to try. So he was always just like in a waiting room, like, I'm gonna just sit here quietly. And, if I find a good reason to want to put in some effort, then I will. But until then, nope. And then she just kept hitting them with doo-doo and garbage. And so that was it.
Yeah. So they go on a dinner date.
And oh my goodness. It started off pretty well, but then I think Christina asks him, what do you like about me? What do you like about me? And then he gives a couple of basic things. Oh, well, I think,
she asked how he felt about decision day. Oh, no, and that was when Henry didn't have anything to say. So what did she ask to make him go there?
I think she was just trying to make conversation.
She said that she was proud of them and proud that they stuck it out, even though times have been weird, because she doesn't finish a lot of things. So this was an accomplishment for her. I'm thinking, but she said it as if they both felt that way. And it's like, no, but this wasn't good. So why would this be an accomplishment for you?
She's asserting herself over this relationship.
Yes, she is.
But I mean, Henry is like, really like, you have no idea. You have no clue. He's almost baffled at this point.
She admitted that sometimes she acts like a fool. And she's used to someone putting her in her place. But it's disgusting. So that reminded me of what Karen said.
So
but we'll get to that. It's disgusting that she has to do that. She admits it's an impulse. She should stop, but it's hard. And she's starting to regret basically how she was acting. Because she's like, ooh, it's getting closer to the time.
Oh yeah. She's just trying to manipulate again. I wanted to say delusional early on, but now I believe it's just she's really and have always been trying to manipulate Henry. And you can't manipulate Henry because he's not going to get emotional that way. You're not going to get a rise or a fall out of him. He's going to stay pretty consistent.
Right.
And that's very difficult for Christina because she's used to people becoming emotional at the things that she do and say.
Exactly. He said Henry was picking up those red flags. He is not perfect, but I bet you he would have tried with Olivia. I feel like he would have too. I thought about that earlier when I was thinking about who else he could have been paired with. I feel like, not saying that they would be right for each other, but it would have been a little better than him and Christina.
I mean, we can even say that Brett and Christina would have been better. Because they probably would have been too.
And that's probably because Christina was acting as if she's used to guys like Brett.
Right. And Brett wanted somebody to move into his house anyway. So
oh my God. They mixed it up. That would have been perfect. Because Christina would have really made him feel like he was the man for having his own house. She's like, yeah, we're moving in.
They need to put us on a panel.
See? Right. And then the whole, you notice my writing. So when Henry goes to talking about the things that he likes about her, Christina breaks down because he said that she's a good writer. And then she starts crying,
like
I
tears.
couldn't believe it. I'm like,
multiple
that's when I
wipings.
looked at you and was like, oh my gosh, she is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said in another episode, that from a person like her is a form of manipulation. I understand that, you know, women cry in their situations where they, you know, you have to really, like, you know, be sentimental and empathetic about it. However, with her, she's the type that'll use it in her benefit because men react to it in a certain way. And I'm glad that Henry is just looking like, I don't care that water's falling from your face.
He's really like, okay, she is really weird. And then Christina's gonna say, what if they would have paired her with someone crazy? I mean, we're both great people. She is out of here.
Crazy.
Okay?
I mean, for her to say
out.
that I got a text from a dude that said that you guys had a sexual relationship and then be lying about it, that is the red flag.
Because you're gonna have the text. I mean, if that type
you'll never delete that.
Exactly.
No, you keep that forever. That's the one text you like when you go to the cell phone store. Can I make sure I keep my text messages? Like, because I got one message in there that I really need.
Right. You're going to snapshot it and send it to yourself in your email.
Come on now.
Okay. You're going to make sure you have that.
Come on now.
So they both go back home and Christina says that they had a great night. They can't wait to go back to the restaurant. That was her way of kind of looking at him like, are we going to go back? Are you going to say yes? That's why I felt she said that.
But Henry is so smooth. He's already developed a
right.
You know, you don't have to never answer no questions because he's already been like, I've been like this, so I don't answer questions that I don't want to.
Right. And then Christina's gonna say that the dinner catapulted them.
Catapulted them to what?
Exactly.
Christina's crazy.
And then she's like, you know, I'm wondering if we need more time and stuff like that. Henry didn't say anything to her, but in the confessionals, he's like, I don't need more time. But he doesn't ever say anything to her.
That's a problem, you know, that he has, because I think that he needs to be boisterous a little bit and step outside of that shy box that he's in.
Let me get some coffee and a snack so I can stay up for this chat. I know it's gonna be good. Get you some coffee. Yeah, it's like 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's 10 there. Anisha must have work in the morning. We stay up late.
We're gonna be up to 4 a.m.
Right.
And another thing.
Now you know you can't stay up that late.
No, I'm joking.
He could go to sleep. He could go to sleep in 2 minutes of sitting still.
That's right. Not quite narcolepsy, but almost.
Okay, so are we to the last couple?
Well, hold on. What was the end result with Christina and Henry?
That was basically it. She was just like, I think this catapulted us, and you know, it showed them packing basically when he went to the room, like, relax today, take care of yourself. Henry already knew he was out.
Henry was happy.
She was looking and she was being really nice, and I'm like, you should have been this way.
Henry clicked his heels when he left. You know how leprechauns do when they hop up, pop out. Like that's what he did. He was so happy when he left.
Do you think his best friend,
who, Kristen,
likes him?
His real girlfriend?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess he could call her. That's my girlfriend because she's a girl and is a friend. But yeah, I think that Kristen would possibly keep Henry around. Like, you know, if the relationship that I have with this guy that I'm sexually attracted to doesn't work out, then I'll get with the guy that I'm mentally attracted to. So maybe.
Yeah.
Or
she's waiting for him to, you know, they're in politics and stuff. If he ever gets to a position where she's like, you know, I've been here for him.
I would vote for him for assembly member of the 27th seat in the 19th district. I just voted, y'all. So.
Oh God, that is funny. Okay, so yeah, last
but not least,
Karen and Miles,
our favorite couple to
talk
about.
We're kind of zooming through this because we know that the Decision Day episode has already came on, so we'll take more time for that episode. But yeah, we're kind of trying to get this one out.
I got 2 pages of notes.
Yeah,
on Miles and Karen because.
Oh Lord. Okay, so Karen and Miles. It starts with them on the couch talking. Karen asks Miles if he wants to rub her feet. Yeah, she goes, you want to rub my feet? I'm like,
he just got done driving from 2 hours away, let's say, probably about. And so, come on now, it's like,
but no, and
he
it's the
even
way,
gave a weird look too, like, I'll do it, but I'm kind of not happy about it.
well, to me, it's really also the way she said it. Like, you want to rub my feet? That's no way of asking for what you want.
What I thought about that was like, this is how Karen shows intimacy. It's out of service to me. So, so her way of being close to Miles is, can you rub my feet? Can you rub my back?
She didn't say, can you? She said, you want to. To me, that's different.
See.
That's like, okay, I haven't been giving you no love or nothing. And I go, you want to rub my feet?
No.
Right. That's more.
That's my initial
and then that's
feeling.
Different than me saying, can you rub my feet? It's more of a softer approach than you want to. Like, why would I assume that you want to touch my feet as if, like, it would be an honor for you to just rub my feet? That's how it came off to me.
I agree.
Like, she came off very entitled.
She did. But that's how she has been really for me this whole time. And I hope, and I swear, I hope Miles didn't say yes. And y'all don't tell me, but I hope that he would
don't tell us.
I hope
don't
that he said no.
She mentioned he had gray hair and he said she was aging him. She joked and said, you can stand to grow up a little. I mean, some of her just same slick comments.
He needs to watch out. He might lose his hair dealing with Karen.
Yeah. They talk about decision day. Karen doesn't want it to add a bunch of pressure on them. I'm just like, girl, like, it's 11 seasons. We all from the beginning, we know decision day is coming.
Right.
I mean,
and it should have already happened. And y'all should have not have been together for the last 2 months, in my opinion.
Miles doesn't want to feel like he didn't do the best that he could. I don't think he has to worry about that. I feel like he should have no regrets. I think he tried the best he could.
Well, I think in every situation, when we go back on it, you say, okay, I maybe could have did this different, or I could have did that different. So I can understand his fears and feeling like maybe he didn't do everything perfectly. But I think a lot of that has to do with the insecurities that Karen presents to him. Like, you're not masculine enough.
Right.
And, this is not happening, or that's not happening. Because when somebody rejects you in the way that Karen is rejecting Miles, that would instill insecurities in almost any individual.
Yeah, I agree. E says, Karen, she got the right one. It couldn't be me. Hell nah, I ain't rubbing no feet with the cameras. Oh my God.
I don't mind rubbing no feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way
Karen's
Karen.
feet.
Yeah, it's the way
Karen does it. I would look at her feet like they stank and got stuff in between her toes. Like, I don't want to touch them dogs.
Right. Miles meets with his friend and says the first few weeks of quarantine, they didn't even speak to each other hardly. So, dang, that's crazy.
Like, how can you want to be with somebody who doesn't even show friendship?
Yeah.
Somebody who shows that, I mean, we have all been in situations where everybody listening, I know, has been in situations where we know when the other person likes us. There's just things that happen.
Right.
And when somebody isn't doing those things, then you're like, you don't like me. You don't like me. What are we doing here?
Right.
And I said this before, and maybe I didn't say it before, but I'm gonna say it right now. I think that Miles should have did what Brett did, which is when she went off to work for her little 12 hours, he should have packed everything up and boned out.
I agree.
And I guarantee Karen would not have called him. Guarantee it. Olivia called Brett because
no, Karen might have called because Karen likes when that would probably make her want him more.
She would say that you took one of my socks. That's why she would call. I want my sock back.
He said Miles can be funny, the funny single friend on Woody and Amani spinoff. Right. Exactly.
You actually said this. I agree with that, which is that Miles would probably pair better.
I was about to say that
with Karen's friend.
Yep, because Karen's friend just seemed to understand him more. I mean, just off the bat, and she doesn't even know him.
Probably either one of the two friends, but I know the one you're talking about, which is the one that he met with in a couple of episodes ago. But either one of them would have been like, the one girl was like, I like Miles. And then Karen was like, oh, do you really? And gave that face.
Karen was on Married at First Sight Unfiltered, and she said she had a difficult time during COVID at the hospital. She had a lot of staffing related projects and it was stressful. I mean, we all were stressful. That is, I mean, okay, here we go, East. She was fixing food. There was clothes on one couch. It filled the whole couch. Miles was on another couch, and it had more than enough space for her to sit down beside him and eat. She chooses to sit on the arm of the couch that's full of clothes to eat. What does that have to do with being stressed at work?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
And on that same note, it doesn't matter. When you have work, you got
And I
work.
know East agrees with us, so you're not saying not, but exactly.
When
like
you go home,
I'm not falling for it.
That's your safe haven, your comfort zone. You should be happy to go home to the person that you care about and that you know that you enjoy being. I'm not even going to say love, that you enjoy being around for one reason or the next.
Hi guys, I see we have some more people. So we are just reviewing episode 15. We're in California, so the episode for Decision Day has not came on yet, so do not spoil it. No spoilers. Share. We're only talking about episode 15. We have not seen Decision Day yet.
Nope. So
23 people here. Right, exactly. I got you, East. I got you. So the first few, okay, yeah, he said that he tells his friend that it bothers him that she's not affectionate. He kind of says that to Karen, but I wish he would say it like that.
What?
That this bothers me that you're not affectionate. It's an issue. This is how I feel about it. He kind of he sugarcoats it. He says it, but
he should. But you got to sugarcoat it sometimes when you're talking to the significant other because you don't want to offend them in a way that pushes them away. But Karen is vastly aware.
She likes that though, so he needs to be like she likes it rough.
What? So he needs to like grab her by the shirt, like, come on, woman.
He needs to at least say what he told his friend, which is, it bothers me that you're not affectionate.
No, but she knows. He said that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I mean, I hear you. But I mean, I feel like he said it to her enough times.
I agree.
So that because she's even, she said that to her girlfriends that Miles says that he needs blah 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 from me, and so she knows.
That's right, CJ. No one spoil it. Because we are anticipating this last episode, so we don't want to know nothing.
She is she's just not willing to do it because, in my opinion, she's not into Miles.
Yeah,
she's just not into Miles, and if anything, she would have to force herself. And if for whatever Lord knows reason why she would say yes, is purely for other people and not her.
Yeah. So Miles also says that he's unsure that Karen is going to be enough. I totally agree. She hasn't given anything. She hasn't given any personality. She hasn't given any affection. I don't know what would make him say yes other than a dream that he has of how she should be.
One thing that Miles said was that he feels like Karen may have potential. And I understand that perspective in that, nobody's going to be perfect, at that very moment that you meet him. And that you as long as two people are willing to mesh your lives together, then you can work things out so that things are perfect. So there's that potential. However, he's only relating potential to the fact that they've been paired. Nothing that they've actually done would, together would say that, that there's any potential there. She hasn't been really intimate with him in any way. She's not affectionate in any way. And she even with herself and her friends say that she has an issue with being that way with individuals. Yeah. So, I don't know what it is that she wants. I guess she mentioned that she wants somebody to put her in her place, which I think is silly for adults to want to be put in their place.
But before because we're gonna get to that, I want to talk about that.
But I'll do it.
But I do I do like how Miles said that he's gonna have to be selfish when he makes his decision, and I just really hope that he is selfish. So Karen meets with her friends, and Karen said that he's the type that wants to be all up on her or wants her to be all up on him, but she's not that type of person.
Yeah. I think that her friends, judging by their faces and kind of attitudes, they were almost looking at her like she was a little bit crazy for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, they didn't come out and say, "Girl, you're wrong."
Mm-hmm.
Miles is a good guy, whatever else. They kind of just appeased her opinion and
Mm-hmm.
and really kind of justified it in saying that you guys can both be great people. However, just because you're great people doesn't mean that you belong together, which is obviously true. However, they're not suggesting to Karen that, what you're being in this relationship doesn't constitute as a great person.
Exactly. And then Karen's going to say, I mean, does he need more from me? Girl, how
More.
What?
More.
He's told you that he needs more. I'm not understanding why when she talks to her friend, she is acting as if he didn't make that clear.
He's like, just like me. Just more. I mean, just you act like this isn't a high school project where we're raising an electronic baby.
Exactly. That's funny. Right. Exactly. That's exactly how they act. Her friend said that if that's his love language, then it's going to be important to fulfill and could be a problem if you don't. I totally agree. But then the other friend said if you feel uncomfortable with his love language, then that could also break up things. I mean, yeah, I guess. But she keeps saying that it's natural for her. So
what's natural?
Being affectionate.
That not being affectionate is natural?
No,
for her?
that being affectionate being affectionate is natural.
So then what? Okay, so then it's just it has to do with Miles, and that's fine. But just let that be known so that we're not, in this struggle all together where you guys are acting like you like each other, but you really don't.
Right.
Say no today.
Right. Roz says she would say yes because she doesn't want to look bad.
Yep.
I could see that.
Yep. She would say yes just simply because of that. And then, 6 months from now, they'll be divorced by March 2021.
I think the reunion is when they come back after a little bit from decision day. Yeah. So when they do the reunion, and if they do that,
Miles gonna be like, and we still haven't been intimate, but there's potential.
Oh, he better not be there.
But there's potential there. I mean, I can tell, when I sneak and take a peek at her when she's in the bathroom, I can tell.
I agree, Roz. If she was into Miles, she would be all over him. I mean, she would at least give him some affection.
At least some soft touches, some, I'm into you vibes. There's nothing there. So Miles needs to run before he becomes depressed. And see, I was thinking about that earlier today. Miles has, some depression issues. And so somebody who has these issues needs to surround themselves with people who aren't going to foster that energy. Yeah. And Karen doesn't really care. Mm-hmm. She almost looks at that as in a weakness.
Yeah.
And she's not going to do anything to make sure that is not a detriment to their relationship.
Mm-hmm. Karen said that she had an issue with wondering whether or not he was being genuine because he was very accommodating and they were getting along too well. Basically, she felt he wasn't being his real self and she doesn't have time for that. She said, I don't have time for that.
Who wants,
I don't know,
somebody on the first date to smack them and be like, this is as far as it goes with me. I'm gonna smack you.
Exactly. Like, don't you want the person to give you their best selves? Like, why would he treat you bad? Why would he do that?
We got the rest of our lives for me to show my ass. Like, why in the world would I want to show? I mean, trust me, when I met you, baby girl, mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to do everything to make sure that I impress her and show her that I really want to be here and that you're going to live a very nice and comfortable life with me.
Which I do.
Okay. And so there was no way I was going to come up to you and be like, grab my pocket, you know what I mean? And treat you like, some slave or animal or something like that. And so it's like, of course, if there's ever any issues as a man, of course, we're going to stand our ground. Mm-hmm. However, you never get into a relationship if you're smart by, smacking somebody and dragging them back to the cave.
I think Karen is really used to a lot of drama and a lot of toxic things in relationships, because it's not normal for you to just have so much turmoil so early. I think that's what she's expecting, and because she hasn't seen it, she feels like he's not being, real. And then I'm also thinking, isn't the world giving us enough stress? Like, why do you want to come home and have more stress? Why wouldn't you want to come home where there's puppies and rainbows after being out there? You already said you were super stressed at work. You said COVID is making you stressed. The issue with racism is making you stressed. And now you want in your relationship to feel stressed. It's too good and you want more added. I don't understand that. I think it's all just an excuse because she doesn't like him.
Maybe it's an excuse, but I think that there are certain people who thrive off of this kind of turmoil. And that is the most comfortable it can be, is when things are a little bit tense, because things have been tense growing up.
Yeah.
And so, when things are a little bit too calm, then there's a problem with that, because there's some fakeness in that. And there's a little bit, and I can get that to an extent. But
I don't know. When we first met, and I think that's with anybody who's meeting with somebody, you're kind of like, you're waiting to see their true colors.
Of course.
But I don't think I think you just wait. As long as they're making you feel good in the moment and you guys are having fun, you take it day by day and you keep going. If you're not ready to take it day by day and take that risk, then you don't get on Married at First Sight. Because I can understand someone not being ready to risk again, falling in love with someone. It's always going to be a risk, right? She's not ready to take that risk, because when you're ready to take a risk, you go day by day and you just enjoy that person.
Yep.
And if they're not showing you anything bad, then you continue to enjoy them. But if you're not ready to take that risk, then you stay single and you have fun. And when you're ready to get in a relationship and when you're ready to give your heart and be open again, then you do that. So she went on Married at First Sight and she's not open or ready to be in love. She's not ready to take the risk. So she shouldn't have signed up.
Which I think is something that we said 6 or so episodes ago, which is that she just wasn't ready for this, and that she was still in love with her ex-boyfriend. And I'm pretty sure we got some people who would attest to the fact that we said that, is that she is just not ready for this relationship. She's still in love with whoever it was that cheated on her and got another baby. And all of the other emotions ensued.
I wonder what's gonna come out after tonight. All the YouTube channels and Instagrams that have like the tea on stuff that we don't see. Elle says, I think Karen wanted her type of guy. I can't stand when people sign up for this show and then pump the brakes and want to go super slow. It irks me. Yes. Because I'm like, everybody knows by season 11 what this show is about.
Come on now.
If you get on Married at First Sight, you're ready to go faster than normal.
Yeah, there's no reason why you should be calling me stranger.
Right, still 4 months.
4 months into
and then,
stranger husband.
Exactly, right? So they have dinner at home. Karen mentions that this has taught her what's important to her. And she mentions needing masculine energy again. She mentions that having someone with masculine energy is one of the things she's realized is really important. To me, that was another shot.
And I think that was what he had mentioned with his friend earlier. I forgot to mention that, but when you have your counterpart, your female, your woman that says that I need masculine energy, and you're that man, and you're the one with the testosterone bringing that masculine energy, then that is a shot to you as a whole man. And so that would be hurtful for me, and it was very hurtful for Miles, because just following up from that, he said, there it is. That's the issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm unclear about.
That's what I'm unclear about. So
he says this to Elle, but I want to read it. I hear you, but at what point does Dr. Pepper stop matching opposites? Opposites don't attract. They only have 1 to 2 successful couples per season. So match similar people. They do say opposites attract, but what we're seeing is it's better when people are kind of similar.
Yeah, because opposites can be good and opposites can be bad. When you know, what was the guy, Matt, the tall guy from the last season, and the short girl? You know, I think that the show does what it can to make sure that they attain its viewers. And so from a human standpoint of it, you know, they have their couples that they know are going to work. Amelia and Bennett, Miles and Woody. Maybe I don't know if they really thought that, but then you have your couples like Christina and Henry and Olivia
but I
and
think that's
Brett.
unfair. You think they go into it on purpose, knowing that they're probably not going to work?
Not the people, but the experts.
The experts.
The experts know.
That's unfair. Because that's playing with people's hearts, with people's lives. Because if they did apply themselves and they weren't recruited, then I'm sure they wanted the best chance at falling in love. And I think that's wrong if the experts are knowingly putting people together that they really feel like aren't going to work.
That's my only explanation for why they make these choices. Because, I mean, if you really wanted to pick good people, then they wouldn't have picked Christina, Brett, Olivia. They wouldn't have picked Henry, you know. And so
maybe they gave, during the interview, they just, you know, they had a different representative. They were someone else.
Henry was not like, yo, so yes, I'm Henry, and da-da-da-da-da. He did not
but I
do
think
that.
I think with the right person, Henry would have seemed ready.
Henry was ready, but Henry just required somebody normal. And Christina was absolutely opposite of that.
People used to scare me when they would say, well, not scare me, but like I think about us and we are opposite, but a lot of ways we are alike, but people say opposites attract. So then you think like, well, when people are alike in more ways than not, does that mean it's not going to work? But this shows that no, opposites, they attract sometimes, but really people who are more so similar.
Yeah, but we're opposite in good ways, because it's like the things that we're opposite in, the other person is a strength toward. And so it just makes us a better individual being together. Yeah. With Henry and Christina, yeah, I mean, if they could figure that out, I guess they would be better together. I guess if Brett and Olivia could figure it out, they would be better together. However, they were just so far polar opposite that in this type of situation it wouldn't work, because they didn't have any initial attraction to each other.
So. Olivia and Brett were polar opposites. Olivia was crystal clear about traveling and spending money. That's why I'm like, how did they get that wrong?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure she put that on the application.
Right.
I know she was
like, I would be mad. You know how I love to travel. I would be mad if I were her getting hooked up with someone who didn't want to travel.
When we sat that first day and you said, I want to travel, and I said, I don't want to travel, we wouldn't have had a second date.
Listen, I remember telling you, I want to travel. You should get your passport. You got your passport, and what happened? We traveled.
And we loved
it.
Okay.
So, let's see. Okay. Karen says she needs him to be comfortable with stepping up as a man, which means having a solid plan and being a protector, especially with all the racial injustice. I don't know what she wants him to do specifically.
I think she wants him to revolt against the cops, maybe, and grab a gun. I don't know what she wants him to do, but
probably.
He mentioned it
on the trip
that they had, that, you know, what about the And so I think that he has been displaying in many ways that he is the man that Karen is describing. However, Karen is being blinded by the fact that, like what E said or L said, that he is not her type, and she can't see past that. And that is going to be her biggest problem.
I agree.
In this whole thing.
I agree. Miles works with primary or elementary school kids, so that's why his funny side is natural. I could see that.
His funny side,
like goofy side and stuff. Because he works with elementary school.
Well,
kids.
I mean, you want to have laughter in your relationship.
Yes, like I couldn't be like Karen. To me, is too boring. She doesn't have a personality. I like to laugh. I like to be goofy sometimes. So someone like her, if she's being her true self, she's not giving anything.
I laugh a lot. I laughed a lot, and I will make sure that we laugh a lot in our relationship. Because when you smile,
I love that you're able to be goofy and funny, but you're also able to be serious. But I love to laugh, and you make me laugh a lot. Okay, so let's see. She says again that she wants him to put her in her place.
who,
respectfully.
as an adult, like I'm gonna tell you, like, I mean, I don't mind being authoritative. I don't mind having to tell somebody when they're wrong, but I will not be with a woman who I have to constantly be putting in her place, because I do not want to raise a person who I want to raise my children.
That is
Period.
so, I didn't even think of it like that. But that is a good one. Say it one more time for the
I
people
do
in the
not
back.
want to raise a woman who has to raise my children.
Woo, that was a good one. That is so good. I didn't think of it like that. But when you put somebody in their place, there's a good way to do it. When you're to that level, when you're married, it's not really putting someone in their place, but it's just reminding them, okay, I know who you want to be, and you're kind of stepping out of that, in a nice way.
Of
But
course.
the way Karen means it is kind of like that. Like, you want somebody to treat you like a little child.
But and like you said a little earlier when we were watching it, if Miles were to have put Karen specifically in her place, it wouldn't have went well.
Right. Because she gets offended by everything. I mean, so how he doesn't know what he can do and what he can't do. You told him that, it's not like if he kisses you, you're gonna call the police. But then when he plays from a joke that you brought up about writing
You want
sex
to
on a
go home
calendar,
for the
you
night.
feel unsafe. And then I
That
don't
was
know.
almost in a sense of him asserting himself. Not in a goofy way. I don't want to
Yeah.
say he was being aggressive in that, but saying that we're gonna have sex by this day or whatever it was. If she wanted somebody to be masculine, that is a masculine quality to want to have sex.
Yeah.
That is very masculine to even be like, if we're not gonna have it now, then let's put it on the calendar. Let's figure out how we do this thing. Like he's over here doing his best.
It was a joke that she brought up. So I don't understand how she got, because she's the one who said it's not like we're gonna put it on the calendar or something, and then he carried it and then acted as if he was. She brought the joke up
because she's going through this relationship looking for reasons why it'll fail, as opposed to going through this relationship to seeing how it can work.
Exactly.
And that, for anybody that's listening, is the absolute worst way to go in a relationship, to wonder when or how it'll fail. Do everything you can to make sure that it works out well, and hopefully you're with somebody that's doing the same thing, and I guarantee that it'll continue to work out.
I agree. Miles said at the end of the day, he's a man, and what he needs is oh wait, no, he said he can be what she needs. I'm tired of him saying that, because she doesn't know, and she's not super right. He keeps like saying, I could be what you need. Everything that you're saying you want, I can be that. I kind of don't like that energy that he's giving her when he says that. But he wants to feel like he can be himself and wants a woman to be proud to be with him. And he wants someone who wants to be affectionate with him. Right. He wants peace, and he wants to feel peaceful, and he wants to have safety at home. He can create a space for that, but he doesn't know if she'll ever get there.
She wants Miles to be butch.
Wait,
and I say she wants Miles to be butch is because she wants a guy to act more like a man than what a man actually acts like. And so,
true, right.
Men, we're all kind of different ways. And I mean, and mostly, whatever. But yeah, her opinion of what a man is very false.
Hey guys, we see more people in here. We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 11, episode 15. We have not seen the Decision Day episode yet, so do not spoil it. No spoilers, but we want you guys to comment on. Right, Butch. He's laughing. Yeah, so keep putting your comments. We love, talking to you guys. No spoilers. The episode has not came on yet. It's only 7:30 p.m. here. The episode doesn't come on until 9 p.m. where we are. Yeah, babe. So go ahead.
That was it. I was just, I had to rant a little bit about the fact that, what Karen wants is not necessarily realistic on paper. Yeah. And anybody who literally writes down all of these little silly things is going to have a lot of problems, I think, in life. Yeah. Because, whenever you plan something like that to a T, you're going to be disappointed. You really have to allow life to transform and understand that, you're going to change, he's going to change, and hopefully we can change together. And she's just not really the right person for Miles. And I know some of you guys have already seen this, but I truly, duly hope that they do not say yes.
I wish,
Especially Miles.
I wish Miles would have said when she says, "I need masculine energy." I wish he would have just said, "I need feminine energy."
Ooh, now you hitting it below the belt. That's true though.
So anyway,
that's true. Because she's showing no femininity in this. And I mean, I think we've called her a couple of rappers' names throughout this whole season. She's been Little Flip, Little Twist.
Right. Elle says I could see Miles and Iris together. Iris was also afraid to talk about anything intimate though.
She could be like closety, freakish, but
well, she said she didn't do anything. She did everything but intercourse. So
yeah, but you know what though? The guy that she was with, Keith, I think that he was similar in a lot of ways to Miles. So maybe not. Maybe
right,
not.
I agree.
They were very similar.
Yeah. She has a Miles, but she wants a Future / T.I. Harris type of man. I agree.
She wants a who?
Future / T.I. type of man. Future the rapper.
I know you're talking about. I'm just thinking about what that looks like. Maybe. I mean,
think that's probably who her ex was. I mean, like.
But neither one of them would have dealt with this after the first few days. I mean, and so she would have had to have been like chasing them because they probably would have been like, would have walked out and wouldn't have cared.
And she would have had to been a little more feminine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And maybe she needs to have those things, but again, they wouldn't have wanted her because she isn't what they're used to. And for the most part, any man that's Miles' age isn't used to this kind of thing either. Mm-hmm. Especially when you've grown up and you went to college a little bit and lived your life as a young 20-some-odd-year-old guy and you're decent looking. Come on now.
Right.
Come on now.
So
always had a job. Come on now.
Right.
Come on now.
So they're in bed and Miles mentions, oh, you got the little red number on, and she goes, stop. But it was so funny because I listened to somebody say, that Karen wore that because she was open to getting a little closer. And I'm thinking, what she had on didn't give me that. I mean, it was red and silk, but it still looked like she had on a whole silk pants.
Yeah, I didn't
and silk button.
Yeah, it was like a button-up shirt, and everything was pulled all the way up.
It didn't give me like I'm ready to get closer.
She had the lock on the pants.
But what if she thought that was? Then oh Lord, we got more to work on. If she thought that was a lingerie,
right? Yeah, I'm gonna look good for Miles tonight. Got on my Santa Claus outfit. Come on now, no.
Oh God! I'm like, put on my button up in my pants.
Right. Where you going? You looking like an elf.
So Karen mentioned decision day possibly could mean two different things to them. See, that's to me her trying to set up why they would say yes or no. Like as if she's basically saying decision day could mean we're saying we're going to still we're still kind of not married, but we're going to keep trying to see if we want to stay together, versus Miles could think decision day means we're saying yes to now we're really going to start acting like we're married.
So that's what she was trying to say?
I feel like, because how could decision day mean two things? Why would she be worried that decision day could possibly mean two different things to them?
That's Karen's.
What do you guys think?
That's Karen's delusional self. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, the divorce is always an option, whether you say you're going to be together forever or not. I mean,
one takes a little longer than the other.
What?
If you say no on decision day, then the show handles it. But if you want to get divorced after the show is over, then now you're going into, handling it yourselves.
I guess. I mean, who wants to be together to say, let's see if we're going to stay together? I only want to be with the person who wants to be with me.
That's what Christina was saying. Maybe we need a little more time. What? As in maybe we should say yes so we can have a little bit more time to see if this is worth it.
4 months is enough. 4 months is already enough. 4 months. I mean, 3 months, 2 months, 3 weeks.
I think so too.
To be frank.
So basically, Karen ends it with she wants them to both make the decisions that are best for them. And so whatever. But then when they part ways, when she's packing her bags and she's getting ready to leave, she still doesn't give him a kiss or anything. It's like,
cold.
Dang,
just
girl.
cold. She just cold. She just turns around. She didn't even look back. She kind of just turned away in an awkward way, and left. And that's really been just indicative to their relationship in a whole, the way she's been treating Miles.
Yeah.
And I really believe that she was very hurt when she signed up for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she didn't think that she would get picked.
Mm-hmm. What did you say? She was hurt when she filled out the application?
She was hurt when she filled out the application. Either that or she was in the wrong line and just, continue with whatever process that was happening.
Right.
I think maybe she does need maybe a guy like T.I. or somebody like that has that kind of bravado.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, a person with that kind of bravado wouldn't want to be with somebody that's that masculine.
I agree. Everybody has feminine and masculine energy, but the only reason why I think we're even mentioning the lack of femininity in Karen is because she keeps bringing up his masculinity. I think if she wasn't continuously talking about that and throwing shots at him, I would not have thought about her lack of feminine ways at all. She's bringing her issues to the forefront because of how she's doing him.
Yeah, she has some of that femininity. I think Miles would have the ability to feel like it was acceptable for him to, tell her what she's doing, whether it be right or wrong. When you're with somebody who isn't yours in that way, then what place is it for you to even do that?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even called me daddy yet. So
that is so funny.
So how can I put you in your place?
Right. Elle says Karen's friend is gonna make a move on exactly. Sorry, I just was thinking about what you just said. Like, yeah, you won't even let him lead nothing for real. He can't tell you how good you look because you tell him to stop.
Right.
He can't say anything to you if it's not what you want.
Right. So he's tiptoeing.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not a masculine trait. But in order for him to try to realize the potential in this relationship, he has to kind of take that step back. But it's playing against him, but it's all because of how Karen is really responding and acting.
Exactly. Elle says Karen's friend is going to make a move on Miles the moment she states it's over. The friend was more into Miles.
Oh, yeah.
We did. Okay. I did forget to mention that both of the friends said that they like Miles.
Oh, yeah. And
they think he's a good guy.
If Karen says yes, that's the reason why she says yes.
Yep, because she, and she's probably the type who doesn't want him, but doesn't want anybody else to have him.
Right.
I could see Karen being selfish like that.
For no reason either.
Yeah.
I mean, like your friend said, two great people don't have to be together. But I think the way that friend was saying it was like, two great people don't have to be together. However, I already said that he was great. I feel great. And so, so maybe y'all two great people can't be together, but us two great people can be together.
That
so
is
don't
so
be too mad.
funny.
Y'all didn't really have a marriage anyway.
It'll happen. It will happen on Married at First Sight. There's been plenty of stories of it. So guys, that was the end of the review for episode 15. Yeah, this was really fun. We're going to have to do these lives again if you want to see how it looks. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, any questions before we head out, we're going to give you guys like a couple of minutes, 2 minutes before we end the live. We're going to fix us some dinner, so it'll be ready by the time the show comes on. We love to have some good food while watching our favorite show.
And we cook well, too.
Yeah. I cooked a vegan lasagna. I made the ricotta cheese out of cashews. It's amazing. Thank you, East. He says, well done. Thank you. This is our first live. We're so excited.
I know.
This is pretty cool.
This is kind of
I like this. I like being able to talk to you guys while we're reviewing.
We shattered the glass ceiling a little bit on what
we've
done. Yeah, we kind of another step. Okay, progress.
Yeah. That is so funny. All right, guys. So we will be back. Probably not tonight, But we are going to come back to let you guys know what we think about the decision day episode. We are going to Big Bear actually for like a couples weekend. We're kind of trying to think if we should bring the mics and stuff. The couple that we're going with, they also watch Married at First Sight. We don't know if we're going to do that. If we don't, then great. Then I mean, if we do, then you guys will get a chance to actually talk to two couples. But if we wait till we get back, then we're gonna go on live. Either way,
we will be back.
We will be back.
Either way.
Let's see. Will you review Put a Ring on It? I think it's underrated show. No one really talks about. So we watched the first episode. Put a Ring on It. Remember that was the show where they dated. The first episode was they went on dates with other people.
Yeah. Oh, we did watch that, and
I don't know if it's what do you think?
Well, I got some stuff to say about it. I do. I definitely do, because they have different little personalities. I wonder how the show will progress. It's an idea that we can keep on the table, but I definitely have my ideas about all three of those couples.
I think we need to see an episode, the second episode. See, my thing is I don't want to review a whole bunch of toxic relationships. And I'm not sure if that's what we're seeing, because it's the energy thing. I think it's really important to watch your energy, especially with us being a couple. I want us to be very careful with, the type of couple shows we watch. And especially, we can watch it, but when you give a review, you really have to be in it. So it's different from just watching the show and then that's it. You watched it and you're done with it.
Okay. I can respect
so I have
that.
to see.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We gotta see if it's like some help. Is the lady kept looking at the camera, getting aggravated. Remember the counselor?
She kept looking at the camera. Like, stop looking at us. Looking like Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, how Joe Biden keeps looking at the camera. I don't like that. Like, you're supposed to act like we're not here.
Right.
Are you guys watching Ready to Love? Harold has never seen that, but
I haven't seen that.
I watched the last season. No, I watched the last season of it, but we never watched it together.
No.
We'll think about it though, Jonathan. Put a Ring on It. What day does that come out? Oh, and every woman watching is going to be in Miles' DMs. Yep. Wow, first live. Yes. Thank you, BC.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's only going to get better from here. And we want to actually do some lives on the topics. We snapshot some of the topics we got in the comments, questions and answers that you guys want us to answer. So I'll get those together. I really like your commentary. I'm going to watch your earlier videos. Yeah, Roz, do that. Please do.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go cook dinner so we can watch the Decision Day episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, just because you can't see us does not mean
we're not keeping it real.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.